Namaste, and welcome to another episode of the Waking Up with Jessica show. Today, I am so honored to have Maxine Sealey, a compassionate soul and the driving force behind the nonprofit organization Sharing Love with Others. An unwavering dedication. She's making a profound impact on the lives of the homeless community in Skid Row. So welcome as we delve into her inspiring journey and the incredible work she's doing to bring hope and positive change to the homeless community in LA. Welcome to the podcast, Maxine.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm honored to be here.
I'm honored to have you. When I was going through the list of people who I wanted on my show, I just went into this meditation and you just came to my mind.
Wow, thank you.
Because you're everything that the show embodies. You're actually out there doing God's work.
Yes, exactly.
And I would like to, I mean, I know your story, but other people that are watching or listening may not. So can you just give us a little background story about, first of all, who you are, where were you born, all that, and how you got started with sharing love with others.
Hey, my name is Maxine Sealey, and I was born in Panama City, Panama, and I came to the United States as a teenager. I lived in New York, then I moved to Los Angeles, and it's been many years I've been in Los Angeles, and I was going through some hardship, and I was going through some financial hardship. And I was going to the churches to get donations for myself. And I decided to mention it to my pastor. And I said, Pastor, I'm sure I'm not the only one going through hardship. And I said, we need to do a program here at church. And he said, go ahead and do it. So we started the program at church. We were feeding the needies in the neighborhood, feeding people in the neighborhood. They weren't necessarily homeless. They were just experiencing, challenges, right? So we started feeding them and providing clothes. And we did that for a few years at the church. And I remember growing up in Panama, my mom used to tell me that we should always help people in need. So I said, okay, this is something that I need to do. So when we stopped the program at church, I continued the program on my own.
Wow.
Yeah, and myself and my son, we would unite people that needed beds and refrigerator, furniture for the home. And that led to sharing love with others.
Wow.
Yeah.
So through your hardship, there was this birth of just something greater and higher.
Yes.
That is beautiful. And I would like to share that I actually went down there to Skid Row a couple years ago, and I served the homeless with Maxine, and it was a very beautiful experience. But also, I'll be honest, I was terrified.
Yes.
Because you're dealing with a lot of mentally unstable people. You're dealing with schizophrenics, people on drugs coming off of God knows what.
Yes.
So I just remember they would just come up to me very abruptly, and I'm like, oh my God, are they going to attack me? What is going on? It was absolutely terrifying.
Right.
How do you deal with this on a weekly basis? I mean, I'm sure you've had so many different experiences.
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, because they don't know you, they would have that approach. So, because I experienced that same approach when I first started. They didn't know who you are, what are you doing here, and they don't trust you. They have a trust issue. But by us going out there every week, they begin to know us. They begin to be friends with us. We know them. They know us. I know their names. They call me mom. They call me, yeah. So we just build a relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has there been any terrifying experiences for you that you can remember with dealing with them?
Well, I know at the beginning, like I mentioned, some they'll want to take the food off the table without asking. But once you establish that and you tell them the rules, you tell them you have to wait in line, you have to form a line, they'll follow.
Yeah.
And then if someone is misbehaving, they'll take care of it. We don't have a security.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
we
like-
we don't do that because overall they respect. Overall.
And the food, do you cook that yourself? Or
Yes, I cook the
Wow.
food. I cook the food. Well, when we first started, I started cooking all the food, and I would be up all to 2 o'clock in the morning cooking.
Wow.
But now I learned, I adapted different methods, so I cook a little bit different that I don't have to be up all night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I remember, I mean, this wasn't just cheap food. This was food with just like a lot of love. I can see the
Exactly.
love that was poured into it.
Yes, and we provide hot meals. Hot meals every week. And besides the hot meals, we provide clothing
Wow.
and personal hygiene items.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And how do you do this? Is like, I mean, how do you get donations?
Well, most of our donations is from social media. We are totally
Wow.
yes. Yes, so thank God for social media. I put it out there. We need funding, and the community answers.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Are you married? Do you have kids or?
I have one son.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm not married. Well, actually, I'm divorced.
Okay.
Yes, I'm divorced. I raised my son. My mom helped me raise my son. Larry Douglas. You see him on a video sometimes. The big guy, that's my son. He's 29, and he's been a blessing. He's a blessing because I'm very proud of him. Every Saturday, he's out there loading, unloading, helping.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I'm grateful that you have him.
Yes,
that
yes.
Shares your vision with you.
Yes, he does. And this is something that my mom taught me when I was growing up, to always help, like I said before, and don't look at anyone different, the people that are on the streets, because you might not know that can be, any one of us. That can happen to any,
Absolutely.
because being homeless is not necessarily people that are on drugs. It's just regular people lost their job, right? They can't pay their rent, so there you go. They're homeless.
Absolutely.
Some people, I knew a gentleman that he told me his story was that he and his girlfriend broke up. He didn't know how to cope with that, so he became depressed and he became homeless. He's not in drugs.
You hear of stories of people that were Hollywood stars that became homeless.
Exactly.
So
we should not judge.
absolutely.
Yes.
So you just see everyone as just a child of God.
Just a child of God, and we are doing God's work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Are you a Christian woman?
Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. So when I was down there, I got to witness the whole setup. I mean, you guys came with like a minivan and there was a lot of people.
Yes.
How many volunteers do you have weekly?
It could range from 5 to 20 a week. All depends. Yes. And closer to the holidays, we get 30. Everyone wants to volunteer for the holidays, so which we welcome all volunteers.
What do you do different on like Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Well, we serve more people. Every week we serve approximately 400 meals.
Wow.
But for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we serve about 1,000 meals.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, yes. And we start earlier during the holidays in order for us to serve more people. And then to have the volunteers go home and spend the holiday with their family.
Got it. When I was there, I distinctively remember this woman who came up to me and she was just yelling all kind of stuff. Do you remember who she was?
I've never seen her since then. I remember that
Oh my
one.
God. And I
Yes.
was like, I'm going to talk to you afterwards. Because she was just wanting my attention. And she was like, we just want housing. We don't want no food.
Right.
We just
Yes.
want housing. What was that all
She
about?
was very disruptive.
Very disruptive.
Yeah, she didn't want us to serve. I never, that was the first day I saw her. I never saw her since then.
Wow.
Yeah, we want housing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what she was saying. I didn't know what that was about, but
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
yes, it was. She was just interrupting us and trying to disrupt everything that we were trying to do
Yeah.
for the community.
Yeah, she was so disruptive. Yeah, hopefully she got housing and is in
Yeah.
a better place.
Yes, hopefully, because I've never seen her again. So hopefully she got what she asked for. Housing.
Have you formed any relationships with some homeless people down there and you've seen them pass over?
Yes. We have a couple of them that we formed that relationship, and one of them, Faisal, he passed about 4 months ago. Yes, he passed, and then we had another lady, Riva. She also passed. She had surgery, and she was like, I don't want to go to surgery because I know I'm not going to come back. And that was it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Intuitively, she just knew.
She just knew, yes.
Do
Yeah,
many
it's very
homeless
sad.
people die on the streets in Skid Row?
Oh, yeah. Many die. We would hear some of them would come and report back to us and say they died. They had different ways, but because a lot of them are elderly people as well. And imagine they're living out in the streets. They're living in a tent. Yeah, so it's very hard.
Do they typically pass on or pass over in their tents? Or
Some of them, yeah. Some of them will pass out in their tent.
And are their families contacted or no one knows? Or are they just like a John Doe?
I'm not sure how they handle that,
Huh.
but I know that homeless people will come and tell us, oh, so and so died. And I'm like, I don't know that person. Then they'll describe that person to me. You remember so and so? And oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
How was it like during the pandemic?
Oh, we were there during the pandemic. We never stopped.
Wow.
We went straight through the pandemic.
Wow.
Yes. But when the pandemic first hit, we were out there, and there weren't a lot of organizations out there helping the homeless. A lot of organizations stopped going. A lot of churches stopped going. So the streets were empty as far as help for the community. And we were one of the organizations that were out there every week providing masks, hand sanitizers, food, and educating them about what was happening with the pandemic. Yeah.
Did you notice there was a significant loss of the population during that time?
No, I didn't see any significant loss, but just that the help that they needed, the resources weren't there. The resources weren't there.
Wow.
But as far as, no, because I didn't never heard anyone telling me directly that people passed.
Yeah, because people, at the height of the pandemic, it was really scary,
It was
right?
scary.
We thought everyone was just going to drop dead
Right.
and die. But then when you look at the homeless population, I'm like, wow, they're still there.
They're still
and they're
there.
living in confinement. So
Exactly.
this is suspicious.
Right? It was very suspicious.
So
because everyone thought that the first people would die was the homeless people, right?
Yeah.
And they're all there.
Yeah. The same ones that I seen in Hollywood, not
Yeah.
too far from where I was at. They were just living life like
Right.
normal. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we're with all these hand sanitizers and this. I'm like,
Masks and everything else, right?
we just got to build immunity, you
Yeah.
know, put your feet in the dirt and,
Right.
the old school ways.
Exactly. Go out and play in the dirt, right?
Exactly. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I
It's like,
remember.
go out and play in the dirt.
Yes,
It's good
without
for your
shoes.
immune
Yeah.
system. Now it's like, no, avoid dirt and
Yes.
put all this toxic stuff on your
On your
hands.
hands,
and,
yes. Yes.
Anyways, have you ever been fearful of your life down there?
No, not more than anywhere else. Yeah, not more than anywhere. And coming back to the pandemic, people used to tell me, Maxine, you going down to Skid Row with those people? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm going down there with those people.
Yeah.
You know, I said because the same COVID that is in your neighborhood is the same COVID that's in Skid Row. It's not a different one for them.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, but you have to be careful with not more so than anywhere else, because when we go to the grocery store, right, during the pandemic, you touching the items, you don't know who touched that item before,
Yeah.
you know, or who has COVID when you're in the grocery store.
Sure.
So that's the way I looked at it, and thank God I didn't get sick, nothing.
Did you ever have COVID?
No.
Wow.
I never. That's my point. I never got COVID.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. And people some of my friends that were worrying about me, they got COVID.
Yeah.
See, and I'm on Skid Row. I didn't get COVID.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's sort of, it's like, what you think about, you bring about.
Right. Yeah.
I knew someone that was like sanitizing all her
Right.
groceries
Yes.
and letting them sit out. I mean, just like a
Yeah.
whole protocol. And she
Right.
got it like twice. I'm like,
Exactly. I have a friend that even passed because of COVID.
Wow.
So, and she was one of them that would tell me, why am I going down there?
yeah.
And I didn't get it. But
I resumed my life normally.
yes, I did too.
I'm like,
Yeah, you were traveling.
it was the best time to
Yes,
travel.
Yeah.
I was in Machu Picchu and no one was there.
Right.
So imagine getting to experience that with nobody else
one,
there. I
yes.
mean, there was a few tourists, but it was incredible. I'm like, this is the best time to travel.
Right.
I took full advantage because when will this happen again?
Yeah.
It was cheap. Flights
Right.
were cheap.
Yeah.
Hotels were cheap. Less tourist. It was an amazing time. I actually wound up getting COVID in Tulum, Mexico. It was like sort of early on. I just lost taste and smell, which was very strange. And I was extremely fatigued
Oh, okay.
for like at least a month or so. Like I would just like get up, have breakfast, and sleep the rest of the day, and like wake up and it was already like 8 p.m. Yeah, it was a very strange disease. It just felt very unnatural, very
Yes,
manufactured.
yes,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that we're like past that.
Past
and
that, yes,
It
it's
just
behind
feels
us.
very dystopian in a way, looking back at it like, did that actually happen? Right? It's
Yeah,
just so trippy.
yeah. Wow, we went through, that was something else. 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were doing good with sharing love with others, and then, boom, there came COVID. COVID hit.
Yeah.
But we continued, and we are in Skid Row every Saturday. No matter rain or shine, we are in
Wow.
Skid Row, helping the homeless. And we would like to expand to more days eventually.
Yeah. Are there other organizations down there that are doing it like you?
Yeah,
Or-
there are other
okay.
organizations there as well.
But bigger organizations.
Yeah,
right?
bigger,
Like,
smaller,
yeah.
and there's those that come once a year and give out, but you don't see them during the year. They come out for the holidays,
Yeah.
and then you don't see them again when the community really needs them.
I get the mailings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, please donate for Thanksgiving. And I'm like,
Right.
I'm just doing that once a year.
Once a year. They need to
know,
eat
like-
every day.
Exactly.
Right? You eat every day, so why they need to eat once a year?
Absolutely. I would like to talk to you a little bit about the politics here in LA as regarding the homeless population. Because during election time, we always hear, we had Karen Bass and Rick Caruso who were running against each other, and they all had this big divine plan that's going to help homelessness here in LA. Have you seen, through the years, have you seen any significant improvement? Does it matter who's in, or is it still the same?
I believe it's still the same. And a lot of, well, not a lot, but I get some people would say that they offer them temporary housing and they want permanent housing. So sometimes they don't accept the temporary housing because they want permanent. Yeah.
Where is the temporary housing at?
Well, they give them temporary housing in hotels. They put them up maybe for 3 months.
Huh.
And then after that time, they have to go if they don't get a permanent housing for them. They're back out on the street.
Yeah. I would think that it would sort of be difficult to put a lot of them in permanent housing because some are just sadly very unstable.
Yes.
Could start the place on fire.
Right.
So how do you feel is the best way to handle this crisis? Because it is a crisis.
It is a crisis. And I believe, well, there's a lot of mental health. So it needs to start there. I think we need more resources for mental health. And if we can help them, because they're like kids, they're like babies. They've been in the street for such a long time. So even if you put them in permanent housing or temporary housing, I believe they need guidance. Because they've been living on the streets, and some of them don't know the hygiene, how to take care of their personal hygiene and take care of a house. So I know this one lady, she got permanent housing. They gave her permanent housing. She's an elderly lady. We used to help her a lot when she was in the streets, do a lot of fundraisers for her and treat her special. And she got permanent housing, and she told me, she says, I didn't know I had to do all this washing clothes, and she didn't realize she's been out for so long.
Wow.
So, yeah, she could handle that. Because I guess the clothes, they don't wash them, they just throw them away. Because they don't have a place to put the clothes in the street to wash them and fold them.
That's interesting. Congratulations on your new documentary, Empathetic Flavors.
Thank you very much. That's the work of Sam Ho.
Yeah, how did that come about?
Well, during the pandemic, I met Sam, and he approached me and said, Maxine, I would like to, he volunteered a few times, and then he said he wanted to do a documentary about the work because he liked the work that we do. So I said, sure. So we set up time, and during the past 3 years, he been volunteering, and in the spare time, he take videos. He came to my house and took videos of me cooking, and went to my job when I worked as security and took pictures. Yeah, so he did an outstanding job with that documentary.
That's amazing. I mean, you're such a light in this world. You should definitely be shown and given a platform because the work that you do and just the energy that you exude. When I first met you, I was like, I just love Maxine's energy. You're just such a light, and the people down there just love you.
Yes,
it's really beautiful to witness. You're just very motherly.
Yes.
And you're really,
because the love they give me, the love I give them, and they give me the same respect. I respect them, they respect me.
yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, I've seen you put a few people in check down there as well. I was like, all right.
Yeah, because they listen. If I tell them something, they will listen.
Yeah, like you said, they're sort of like kids in a
Kids,
way.
yeah, they will listen. You give them direction, and they will listen.
Yeah.
They will.
I remember a few would come up and like, can I please have a second plate? I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like so sweet and innocent.
You're right. Yes. We give them second and third. As long as we have the food, it's there. That's why we're there. Right? We're there to help the community with their immediate necessities. Yeah.
What is your vision for sharing love with others for the next few years? Like, how do you see it unfolding?
Okay, well, the vision is we want to expand to, we want to do more days, help the community more days first. That's the immediate goal. And then once we get a few days, we would like to serve maybe twice a day on those days. And then gradually 3 times a day. But for that, we need funding, so we want to see how we could get grants and more donations to help us.
How can people donate to you?
Well, we accept Zelle, Zelle is 310-340-8814. We have Cash App, Sharing Love 2019. We have Venmo, Sharing Love with Others. And then we also have Patreon. You could go on the website. You could follow us on social media and see the ways to donate.
Nice. I actually had someone reach out to me a couple of years ago, and they weren't in America, and they were like, "I really want to help Maxine." I think I reached out to you at that time, and it was sort of difficult to get them to send it because I don't know what country they were in.
Right. So I believe we need to expand on the way we donate. People can donate. I believe we need to get PayPal or something, credit cards.
Yeah, I would maybe look into PayPal because I do remember that distinctively. I think maybe I had them PayPal me and then I sent it to you via Cash App or something like that. I'm like, gotta get Maxine paid because she's doing amazing work.
And something you did amazing for Sharing Love with Others too during the pandemic. I don't know if you remember, someone you knew or someone in your contact had contact with a restaurant that were given that wanted a nonprofit to give a lot of food to.
Yes, I remember. You remember?
That. Yes, I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but and you contacted me, or the person contacted me and told me that they were referred by you. Thank you.
Of course.
Yes.
Sharing love with others.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I forgot her name, but I do remember that.
Yes.
I saw her post and she was like, "We have so much food, we want to give it away." Right. I'm like, I know exactly where to.
Yes.
See, it's just like the law of karma and circulation.
Right. And you weren't even in a country. You were in India somewhere at that time.
Yeah.
But you was working. So
totally.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, before I forget, I want to give this to you, a small little token of the show's appreciation for you coming on and just...
Thank you.
I believe in the law of circulation, as you know, and I truly believe that we only truly get to keep what we give away.
Yes.
So I'm always giving, even if there's times where I feel like I shouldn't. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's when we should really do it, because if you really trust and believe in the power of abundance, that's when you have to give. Yes. And everything is, how do I say it? I just believe in living in abundance. There is no lack. There is no limitation. Everything you give, you get to keep.
Right. So. Yeah. We always supposed to share. And the funny thing is, the homeless people, they share, because sometimes they'll ask for an extra plate of food. So on their way walking down to their tent, they'll give it away. We have this one lady, she comes and she gets 9 plates because she's housed, but she lives in a building where a lot of them recently got housed, and she would pick up the plates and take them to them because they're elderly people.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So they help, so why can't we? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this life is just, it's so short, it's so fleeting, and we just really need to be there for one another.
Exactly. We need to be there, not depend on the government to help and no, it's us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like when I was in Cuba a few years ago, it was really beautiful to witness the people being there for one another, because the government is clearly not.
Right.
And just the acts of love that I witnessed in that country, it was so beautiful. Mm-hmm. I was wondering what it was that I felt when I was in Cuba. Mm-hmm. And it's just this extreme life force energy. Wow. Because the government doesn't give a crap about the people.
Right.
So the people are there for one another, and it's really beautiful to witness. And they dance in the streets and they celebrate.
Yes,
and it's like, you know, you got to make do with what you have.
Exactly. Make the
cards
best
you were dealt with.
Yes.
You know, like what are you gonna do
out of the situation? Exactly. Totally agree with that.
So we will conclude this show. Can you just tell the viewers if they would like to come serve down, if you're in LA and you would like to come serve down in Skid Row, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, if you're in LA and would like to volunteer with us, please DM us. Right? You can send us a message on our Instagram, Sharing Love 2019. Facebook is Sharing Love with Others. And we love to have you volunteers. We are always looking for cheerful volunteers every Saturday. If you're not able to volunteer in person, we also have volunteer opportunities that you can do from home, because we need help with social media. We need someone to help with the website. So we have a lot of volunteer opportunities.
Awesome. And your website is sharinglovewithothers.com?
Yes, sharinglovewithothers.org. Yes, sharinglovewithothers.org is the website. But we prefer for you to message us on Instagram or Facebook.
Got it. You hear that, LA people? Do yourself some good karma and contact Maxine and get down to Skid Row.
Yes, thank you very much.
And no matter where you're at in the world, you can also do some good karma by donating to Sharing Love with Others. I've witnessed it firsthand, just what you do. The whole setup is a lot, first of all. You have to like get there early, like a couple hours early, and do the whole setup and then take everything down. I saw that. I was like, how do you guys do this every week? Like,
and we have a routine, because remember, we have to pack the van with everything that we need to take it down there. Then we get to Skid Row and we need to unpack, serve, and then pack the van again.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Maxine, for coming on my show. I'm extremely grateful. You are such a light in this world, and I'm really grateful that our paths cross and I got to experience that with you. I will continue to support you. May not be able to physically go down there, but I will help you in other ways and getting donations and things like that.
Yes.
So thank you so much. You're an incredibly inspiring woman, and you embody what this show is about. So God bless you, and I hope that Sharing Love with Others continues to grow, and you keep feeding people and making them happy.
Well, thank you very much, Jessica, for having me on the show. And I really appreciate all the help that you give. And I wish you much success also on your new endeavor.
Thank you so much. God bless.
God bless. God bless.
And if you guys haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because that helps the algorithm. Namaste.
Sharing love with others.
Yes.
Sharing love with others.
Sweet.
Yes.